Hey guys, this is Set Paint and Play, just going through the as cheap as it gets kind of Necron list. Today we are getting started um, with a start collecting Necrons. Obviously, again, Games Workshop has made this really easy for me. So with the start collecting, you get an Overlord, a Triox Starker, Warriors, and Scarabs. Then I'm going to have you pick up the Reclamation Legion. Now, I'm telling you guys all of the things that you have to pick up first for the entire 2,000 points, and then I'll tell you how to break it down into smaller bits. But the Reclamation Legion comes with two sets of warriors, an Overlord, Scarabs, Lich Guard, Immortals, Scarabs, Tomb Blades, and a Monolith. This is an extremely expensive package right off the bat, but it's a good, probably like at least 1/3 of your army already. And you get to sell back some of the pieces, and depending on how much you get back for those, that can help also reduce the cost of this army, because it is expensive because they were extremely hard to min-max. Then after that, I'm going to have you pick up a box of warriors, two sets of wraiths, a Doomsday Arc, a Doom Scythe, two Canotech Spiders, Lich Guard, and a Night Scythe. Alright, to get started with that first 1,000 points, you're going to get started with the Get Started Necrons list. That's going to give you an HQ Overlord, some Warriors, a Scarab, and a Triox Starker. I'm also going to have you include the two Wraiths, and then two sets of Warriors. But you're also going to have to buy a third set of Warriors, because you're just going to be able to add an additional either two Warriors to the two boxes that you bought, or four to a single squad of Warriors, because I had about, I think, 30 or 40 points to kill, and there's not really a whole lot that you can add on to everybody. To also get that 1,000 points, I gave the first set of Wraiths the Whip Coils, and the second set of Wraiths the Transdimensional Beamer to get started. Alright, moving on to 1,500 points, you're going to add an additional warrior from the extra box set of warriors that you got. Then you're going to go ahead and include the Doomsday Arc, the Doom Scythe, two Canotech Spiders, and on those Canotech Spiders you have the Fabrication Claw Array, the Gloom Prison, and the Twin-Linked Particle Beamer. If I am wrong on being able to include all three of those, tell me, but I went ahead and included all three because it said any unit may add this. So that's it for the 1,500 points. And then to get up to 2,000 points, you're going to need those Lich Guard, the Scarab Swarms, and the Monolith, and a Night Scythe. Alright, so within that first 1,000 points, with everything that I said, which is the Overlord, the Warriors, the Scarab, the Triox Starker, the two Wraiths, and the two extra box sets of Warriors, plus the extra 4 Warriors, will get you to 996 points. I think that's about as close as you can get without going over. Like I said, the Wraiths have the Whip Coils and the Transdimensional Beamer. In the 1,500 points, you have the one additional Warrior on top of everything else. And then you're going to take your Doomsday Arc, your Doom Scythe, your two Canotech Spiders, and all the add-ons that I gave to them, the Array, the Gloom Prison, and the Twin-Linked Particle Beamer. That'll get you up to 1,498 points. And finally, to get to that 2,000 points with your two Lich Guard, your extra Scarab Swarms, and your Monolith, is going to get you to 2,008 points. Obviously, you can play with the amount of Scarabs and a few of the other things to edit that, or if you can get enough grace from your playing partner that they will allow you to add in those extra points. Not a big deal. So that's everything. I will break down why I got each of them to one of you. This is something kind of new that I'm starting. I own Necrons. I've played them a little bit here and there. I'm not super proficient in it. I don't have any of the huge things. I just have some Warriors and Overlord, some Immortals, and some Scarabs. So I have a pretty basic army, but I have a more general idea of how I would want to play them, so I'll go ahead and give that to you guys real quick. Alright, so in the first 1,000 points, I included the Overlord. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get back to something with you guys real fast. Included in the Reclamation Legion, there were a few extras that you can turn around and sell, and I also need to tell you guys the prices and things of that such. You won't need the extra Overlord, you won't need the Immortals, and you won't need the Two Blades. So you can sell all those, and based on what I've seen on eBay, you can sell the Overlord between $5 and $10 tops. The Immortals you can sell for between $10 and $20 tops, and the Tomb Blades you could sell between 15 and 20 tops. So let's say you sell all of them for the top price or whatever, roughly. This is just my estimation. You could get about an extra $50 back on your total. So that's about how much you can get back for those guys. For the whole stinking thing, and I believe this was at the discounted price, everything's going to cost you about $671.50. And if you take off that $50, then you're going to be at about $621. This is not the cheapest list I've ever written, and most definitely I don't know how fun or how well this list will work, but I mean it is what it is. The Necrons are hard to get cheaply because they're hard to min-max. There's not a whole lot of extras outside of like the Overlords and stuff, and I gave the Overlord in this one a Resurrection Orb so you can get your guys up on a higher percent chance. But a lot of them really don't have a lot of added options. Some of the vehicles do. You know, it's obviously just to give them bigger weapons and stuff like that, more armor penetration and whatnot. But for the most part, most of the units are pretty well rounded. Even warriors can take down a Land Raider. They can glance it to death on 6s. So I don't know if there's any hints or tips or tricks on how to min-max these guys a little bit more to make this list cheaper for everybody. Do tell me. The only reason I didn't turn around and sell all the Scarabs is because the Canatech Spiders, they have a rule that you can roll, and on a 2 or above, you can spawn a single base of Scarabs within 6 inches of the spider. But if you roll a 1, it takes a whole point off of the spider. But I mean, all in all, if you ended up, spawning 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra bases of Scarabs, then you could run that up and glance something to death, or make it an annoyance. And I'm pretty sure that they can burrow, so you could just use those as a minor distraction or annoyance, or either as fodder or something like that. So that's what I would use those guys for. But back to what I was saying earlier. As far as why I got everybody that I did, obviously the Necron Lord is Overlord. He comes with a box set. He's also a relatively cheap HQ points wise, and they're pretty versatile, and you can use them in all different kinds of situations. Alright, I then included obviously warriors because they're a basic troop choice. And then the Triax Stalker already just came with a box set because it was cheap, and it's also an awesome model that has some good special rules with it. I included the Scarabs, the Wraiths, and the Canatech Spiders because they run a formation called Canatech Harvest, which allows them to move through cover and relentless, and at the start of each of a controller player's movement phase, choose one of the following special rules: Fleet, Reanimation, Protocol, Shred. The Canatech Spider from this formation, and all units from this formation within 12 inches of the Canatech Spider from this formation benefit from the effects of the chosen special rule until the start of the controlling player's next movement phase. So I thought that was cool, so that's why I included 2 spiders, several sets of Scarabs, so you can either make them appear out of thin air, or whatever you want to call that, and the Wraiths. So you stick those all together, I think you have a pretty good combination, especially if they move through cover and whatnot. So yeah, I got all those guys. Let's see, moving down the list. The Doomsday Arc I figured would be a good anti-vehicle support. Same thing with the Doom Scythe. I know those are both pretty awesome, and it's a flyer. Um, and then down to the Lich Guard, I figured with those, you can fit them all in a single Knight Scythe. You know, bring them in on turn 2, 3, or 4, whenever you can get them in. You know, drop them off right behind the enemy line, right behind some cover or something, get them around the corner, and just massacre. So, and then finally the Monolith, because it came with the Reclamation Legion box set. I personally am not a fan of the Monolith. I haven't seen every time I've seen them in battle reports, they haven't done very well. Most people can do just fine enough with foot slogging across the field. So I don't know. I know it has the particle whip or something like that, but as far as I know, they're not the best things in the world. I know you used to be able to use them where you could use your warriors even after they died. You could bring them back and have them regenerated inside the monolith, but I don't think that's the case anymore. So that's why I brought all those guys. Obviously the Ninth Scythe for the Lich Guard, or if you want to throw some warriors in it or something like that. I just wanted to give you guys a nice versatile list. So anyways, coming up on the end here, guys, it's $621.50 for roughly about 2,008 points, I believe. Sorry, I'm recording this part a little bit later. I had some classes I had to attend to, but that's the final score. So that's all she wrote, guys. Hope you enjoyed the list. Hope you really look into it, and if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comment section below. I know this wasn't a very cheap list. It was really hard to build because you couldn't min-max it, but hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, keep coming on back for more videos, and I'll hopefully get the next list up as soon as I can.